She's being called one of the edgiest, freshest singers on Israeli airwaves, all through singing the Hebrew alphabet. Drawing inspiration from ancient Jewish texts, Victoria Hanna's work has gone viral. i24 culture reporter Maya Margit has more.
In the beginning was the word, and it's exactly that, the mystical power of language, that Victoria Hanna's music explores. Born in Jerusalem, Hanna composes all of her own songs. Her first single, a Kabbalistic look at the Hebrew alphabet, went viral on YouTube, with nearly 1 million hits.
I was stuttering as a child, so I had a speech problem, which allowed me to go very deep into how the mouth is preparing the sound to come out.
22 אותיות יסוד חקוקות בקול חצובות ברוח.
But the decision to become a singer was anything but a given. Hanna was raised in an ultra-Orthodox Jewish family. Her Egyptian-born father was a rabbi, her mother, Iranian. Some Orthodox Jews think a woman's singing voice is immodest.
It was definitely not the natural thing from where I grew up to be a singer and to put my voice out loud as a woman. But it was stronger than me. The voice was, for me, a tool of healing. I was healing myself. I was healing my soul through the voice.
Most of Hanna's songs dive into the spiritual power of language, and many were inspired by ancient Jewish prayers. Some have called her music Kabbalistic rap. For Hanna, each letter is an instrument, and every word has a deeper hidden meaning.
In the Jewish tradition, we believe that the world was created with the 22 holy letters. Alef, Bet, B.
Hanna's star is definitely on the rise. In 2015, Forbes listed her as one of Israel's 50 most influential women. That same year, she even got the chance to perform with a music legend.
Bobby McFerrin is an amazing inspiration for me. And when he invited me to do a project with him, I knew that even though I was pregnant that time, and it was very hard for me to sing, I ran. I said, I'm coming. A miracle, this man, because he is standing on the stage by himself to thousands of people, and he creates a whole orchestra only with his mouth.
So what's next for Hanna? A new album and concerts in Europe and the United States. Though Hebrew letters are at the core of her creative process, she says the language of music is universal. Maya Margit, i24 News.
What a great piece and a great woman. We were speaking a lot about it, but you know, it is true, like the mystical, when you study Kabbalah, which I've been doing, it's true, like they say the Hebrew letters are the DNA of creation, because each of them is a piece of art with a different vibration.
That's exactly what she said she's exploring in her music. She said she's looking at each vibration for each letter, and the reason she began to go deep into the hidden meaning of words, like in Kabbalah, is that she has a stutter. She grew up with a stutter, so her way of dealing with her stutter was to basically start singing each letter one at a time and repeatedly singing it, going into the vibration and hidden meaning, just like in Kabbalah. And in Kabbalah also, each letter in the Hebrew Alef Bet or alphabet has a numerical value as well. It's
very, very fascinating, because they say the earth was created, each like astrological body has a Hebrew letter associated, so it's really deep and profound. And for her, very brave, because she grew up ultra religious, and this didn't go over well, right?
She came from a very conservative background. Her parents, her dad was a rabbi from Egypt. They wanted her to grow up doing her domestic duties in the ultra-Orthodox community, and also it's believed in the ultra-Orthodox community that women should not sing, that men should not hear a woman's voice, because it's considered to be immodest. So some people within her community don't go to her concerts. They like her music, but they refuse to go to her concerts because they called it a sin. So she feels very conflicted about it.
I mean, you go back to, I mean, this is something that States so many thousands of years of how they, women can't study the Torah. I mean, even in Kabbalah, you have to be 40 and a man. But this is something that, this doesn't work in our modern times.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the conflict between like ultra-Orthodox and conservative values in Judaism and, the modern world, basically. It's a clash.
Right.
It's
Well,
basically
it's
a clash.
so brave of her to be able to have, the fortitude to do it anyway, despite so much backlash.
She said she couldn't help but sing. Singing is her passion. It helps her heal herself and her stutter and deal with her issues with her speech impediment. And as well, she's a very spiritual person. So for her, it's a spiritual kind of
spiritual
exercise.
thing. Like, it was bigger than her, like she said in the interview. And I think part of that is, we're all kind of on a path to find, what defines us, and it just like it pours out of her. It's really beautiful and genius.
And she's traveling across Europe and the United States, and she's performing with people like Bobby McFerrin, many different musical people. And I think, she's on the rise. Basically, her album just came out. Her new album. It's available for digital download. It's called Victoria Hanna, and so it's only, I think it's only up from here for her.
It's really, really amazing. But I mean, her community has kind of let her stay within the community. I mean, has it gotten so bad that there's been backlash for her personally as well?
She didn't mention any personal backlash. She did say that some people refuse to go to her concerts, that they say like they admire what she's doing, but that they won't be able to go and attend her concerts personally because it goes against their values. So it's a tough situation.
I'm trying to say PC, but it really, think about it. Does it make sense? It does not make logical sense, these attitudes.
It's a minority, though, this ultra-Orthodox minority that doesn't believe in listening to a woman's voice. It's not the majority of Jews. It's a small conservative minority.
But they have a lot of power in Israel, They do have a lot of power. But anyway, that's a political conversation not apt for trending. All right, thank you.
Sure.